guys, so today I decided to film from my rooftop just because it's such a nice day, blue skies, it's not too cold, and I just want to get some vitamin D since I'm stuck indoors from Monday to Friday anyway, so I don't want to kind of sit in my room and talk to you guys. Plus, my house is so cluttered, like the background is so messy, I couldn't find good lighting, so yeah, here it is. Anyways, we're going to talk about my period, how I lost it, what I did to get it back, so hopefully I can help some of you guys who are experiencing the same thing that I did. Guys, feel free to tune out or click away now. I know you probably won't have these same problems that I did, and yeah, it can be quite TMI to be honest, so yeah, let me just give you a quick background. I actually lost my period for 4 years. At that time it didn't feel like such a long time, but saying it out loud, it's actually a freaking long time. That's like the length of an undergrad degree. I can get my undergrad degree. But yeah, at that time it did not cross my mind that it was such a big deal. I remember, I think the first month that I missed it, I was just like, oh, okay, like I don't have it. And then the next month I didn't have it again. And then I didn't really do anything about it, or I didn't really know how important it is to get it back. So at that time I was just like, yay, no need to buy pads, no need to spend money on pads. I don't need to feel like a waterfall's coming out of me every single time of the month when I stand up. That was actually a very vivid picture, but anyways, let's move on. Yeah, so I didn't really know the long-term effects of not having a period. But yeah, time progressed and I was just like, okay, something's not right. When you don't have your period for a long time, you lose your hair as well. So my hair was really thin at that time. Your nails and your bones are also quite brittle, so whenever I did this or like this, it would crack a lot, and I was like, oh my god. And I would feel cold all the time. It wouldn't even be that cold, and my fingers and my toes, all the extremities, they were like frozen. Essentially not very healthy. And at that time, I think the reason was during uni, first year, you know, freshman 15, I kind of gained maybe like 20-25 pounds, came back and all my relatives were basically calling me fat. I guess I just really wanted to, you know, go back to my old weight, and then so I started exercising more. I think once a week I started running, but then that kind of got addicting, just seeing progress and just really wanting to lose that weight quite quickly. And at that time, you know, you're young, you're silly, you don't know what's better for your body, so I thought, okay, I'll just exercise more, I'll eat less, and then I'll lose weight. So every week I would be running 40 to 50 kilometers, so 4 to 5 times at the gym, 10 kilometers each time, which would take roughly an hour. At that time, I was just really watching what I ate, and I just kept doing it for maybe like 2 to 3 years. Then after 4 years, I kind of realized, wow, I haven't had my period, and I know I want to have kids in the future. You kind of just reach one point where you realize, yes, I have to do something about it. I don't care whether or not I have to stop exercising, I have to eat more, anything to get it back. Every summer back in uni, I would come back to Hong Kong, so there was one time I just booked an appointment with my gynecologist to help me take blood tests and do some scans in this area, and basically she told me that everything looked fine, it's just the brain wasn't sending a hormonal signal to my reproductive system to tell them to kind of release an egg. So basically there was no cycle going on, that's why I didn't have anything to lead out. But she didn't really tell me what I could do to fix it, so she basically put me on the pill for a year and a half. So in that year and a half, I guess I did get my period, but it was kind of like forced, so it's kind of like, come. The reason why she did that was because she thinks that my body wasn't used to having a period, so she wanted to kind of give it a little push or give it a little nudge. But when I stopped it, it still didn't come, so I knew that probably wasn't the way to go. You're just curing the symptoms, but you're not addressing the actual cause of the problem. The pill is just a bunch of hormones, so it's not that good for you, so I didn't really feel that good taking it either, even though my period was coming every single month. So I sat down, I did lots of research, I watched videos online about like other people who've lost their periods as well, so that's why I wanted to make my own, just because I found it really helpful, and it also inspired me to help me get my period back. So I'm going to split the video into 3 parts. So the first would be diet and food related, second would be lifestyle, so anything related to exercise and sleep and stress, and then the third would be kind of natural remedies that I use to help me get my period back, just because I've tried a bunch of different things, and yeah, there are 2 that I think really helped, so I'll go into more detail on that. But yeah, hopefully this video can help give you some tips, and yeah, hopefully you'll get yours back soon. So let's get started. So yeah, let's start off talking about diet. Basically, you just have to eat a lot more. I figured out I wasn't eating enough. At that time, I was eating quite low carb. I did a lot of research, and a lot of them was just talking about the benefits of being plant-based. If you think about it, it kind of makes sense. Like, animals are injected with hormones to make them grow faster so we can kill them and eat them. So yeah, stop eating a lot of meat, eggs as well, just because, you know, if you inject it into the chicken and they poop out an egg, technically. So I was also trying to limit my intake of hormones just so that I can focus on my own. So I did try to go vegan as much as possible. I really upped my carbs a whole lot, getting it from like fruits like bananas, dates, sweet potatoes, lentils, beans, rice, pasta, anything. So for breakfast, I would make like a big smoothie or banana ice cream or acai bowls using maybe like 2 to 3 bananas, or just eating plain dates, which gave me a lot of energy and I felt really good. And for lunch and dinner, I had a big bowl of vegetables and some sort of plant protein, so maybe like tofu or beans, and then I would have 2 to 3 potatoes or sweet potatoes, cut them up and bake them as fries. Trying to include as many colors as possible into my meals, just because different colors are essentially different nutrients, and it's always good to eat a variety of nutrients to nurture and nourish the body. Once in a while, I would kind of use an app called Chronometer. I'll put the name in the description box below to just log my meals, not to count the calories, but to kind of see if I'm getting all the nutrients I needed. But yeah, I mean, from the app, I know that I was eating around roughly 2,500 calories, give or take, just to really feed my body, just because at that time when I was trying to lose weight, I was depriving it so much that it was causing unnecessary stress on it, which leads me to my next topic, which is stress. And just basically all aspects of your lifestyle that can cause stress on your body. So apart from all the stress I was putting on my body by not eating enough and exercising a lot, I was also stressed because of school. I had a lot of exams and I was trying to study. I really wanted good grades, and then also I wasn't sleeping enough, so I would sleep anywhere between 12 to 2 a.m. because I was studying, but I would wake up at 6:30 or 7 to go for a morning workout before class. So all these aspects, if you think about it, that's a lot of stress you're putting on your body. So my cortisol was probably sky high. So yeah, you kind of have to control your stress. So I got a lot of questions from you guys asking me if I had to stop exercising when I was trying to get my period back. The answer is no, but I did switch to something not as intense. So yeah, I would still move, just because all my life I've liked moving. Like when I was in high school, I did horse riding, Latin dance, tennis, volleyball. In general, I just think it's important to make sure you're happy and you're feeling stress-free. So if by not exercising, you're gonna put more stress on your body, then what's the point, right? So I suggest maybe going lighter or having more rest days in between, not working out as hard, maybe incorporating more yoga, meditation as well, just different forms of exercise that you actually enjoy. So yeah, I didn't stop my exercise, but I do suggest maybe doing something not as intense. So don't go run a marathon or something or go to HIIT class, something that won't stress your body out as much, but at the same time you can still have a light sweat and keep your body moving. Next thing is sleep, so making sure your body really does have enough time to repair, especially if you're working out. By then I was maybe sleeping 8 to 9 hours a day, so I felt really good. For the final part of the video, I'm going to talk about natural remedies. So my auntie is a big believer on essential oils. She uses a really good brand called Young Living, so she gave me some to try. I brought these up with me, Clary Sage, and this one called Progressence Phyto Plus. So Clary Sage, I remember I would put it into a capsule and I would eat it. I also switched to kind of putting it on my wrist, on what is this area called? Here, basically, and I think on my temples as well. So yeah, I would rub that every night before I went to bed. I have another one which I got recently called Stress Away. So I think this is a blend of different essential oils, and yeah, I just put it on my temples or the same places if I think I'm getting too stressed. And secondly, I went to a Chinese doctor who helped me do acupuncture and also gave me a bit of Chinese medicine to drink as well. I actually went to another Chinese doctor previously, but I think finding the right doctor for you really helps. So you really have to have that connection with the Chinese doctor. So it's kind of like picking the right job, picking a husband, picking a boyfriend, that type of fit. So she helped me do acupuncture. I went there maybe once a week. I already started noticing changes after the first 1 month. So I felt like tenderness here at one point of the month, and I actually thought I was gonna get my period right away, but I didn't. Body takes a while to kind of reset itself. You know when you know you are gonna get your period? That's what I mean. And then I kept going, and by the 3rd month I got my period. That's all the tips from me, but I'm just going through my phone and seeing what questions I might have missed out on. Someone asked about PCOS and hypothyroidism and like having an exercise addiction. Should I be eating more or less, and should I keep working out to get my period back? So again, exercise, what I mentioned in the video, just keep doing it, but don't kind of go too hard. As for losing weight, I don't think you should focus on losing weight first. I think you should put that aside. That's not your priority right now. The priority is getting your period back. You can always worry about weight loss in the future. You have your whole life to lose weight, but you need to get your period back. So yeah. As for PCOS and hypothyroidism, I just know that a lot of people get misdiagnosed. So doctors just say you have PCOS, but you don't actually. You might as well just look into natural remedies and focus on making yourself feel good, and I think everything will follow. Most of the questions I received were basically about whether or not to keep exercising while you're doing your period. I know a lot of the videos that I watched told me to stop exercising, but I think that would have put additional stress on my body, so I kept going, and that worked for me. So yeah, I think it really depends on the person. Some people like to just not move because they think you'll get better faster just because you're putting like minimal stress on your body. But yeah, I don't see a problem with exercising. I think it's good to keep moving. It keeps you healthy. Just making sure you're really fueling your body enough and getting enough sleep. Just everything else has to be nurturing and allowing yourself enough time to rest so that you can recover for your next workout. Anyways, I hope this video has helped. If I just so happen to miss anything, I'll maybe have a second video to talk about it, but I think I pretty much covered everything. Let me know if these tips helped you, and hopefully in a couple months time I'll be receiving messages saying, oh, like I got my period back. But yeah, so anyways, thanks guys. I'll see you in the next video. Bye!
Apart from the fact that I was exercising a lot, I was also stressed about exams. School was tough. I don't know why. It was just a lot of studying, and I was also stressing my body out by exercising. So, oh, I said that already.
Eating enough, I was also... So, they're quite big now, and they do have a lot.
So yeah, I can go... So the third thing is natural remedy. Same thing with this one called Stress Away. I think this is just a blend of different essential oils. Oh, actually, yeah, I rubbed this one in those places too. So 3 months later, I got my period and I was like, wow. About PCOS and hypothyroidism. So I'm just going... So that's all that... I don't see a problem with working out as long as you're not like sweating as long as